Are you playing D&D wrong?
Because you should be.
Ha ha!
Making the wrong choice in D&D is often the right choice.
What do you mean?
I mean that in a dynamic storytelling game, you are playing characters that have personality and they have flaws. We're going to do a quick aside right now to say your character should have flaws.
Yes. Characters with flaws are sometimes the best interactions that you can have.
Mm-hmm. There's a reason that in the actual game of D&D, in the player handbook, there's a little thing for flaws, and in the player sheet, there's a box. It has a whole box.
Mm-hmm. And it's not that small. It's like that big where you could write multiple things.
And people skip it. Don't skip that one.
The flaws are the best thing that make a character. Being able to even overachieve those flaws or create new flaws throughout the course of the campaign can be awesome.
Build a character with flaws, and then lean into them and make wrong choices based on your flaws. Your character wouldn't be the perfect person. It doesn't make sense.
And oftentimes, that's not what people want to interact with. If you make the perfect person right off the bat, movies and TV tropes have had this problem a lot recently, where they make just the perfect non-changing character throughout the whole campaign.
And people think it's boring.
Yep. So make your characters interesting by giving them flaws.
Yeah. Going forward from there, really lean into your character flaws. So if your character is too trusting, be too trusting. If your character is bad with money, be bad with money. If your character sees a button or a lever and has to push it because they have to know what it does, do it.
Every time.
Yep, every time. And pretty soon your other party members are going to be like, oh my gosh, where is he? there's a lever.
You as the player could also know that it's a trap. The DM knows it's the trap, has told you it's a trap, and your player's flaw is, I trigger every trap.
Yeah. So is it going to be something that is not optimal? Yeah. You're like, that's a trap. That's obviously a trap. But as a character, I'm just like, what if it leads somewhere cool?
Yeah. And is this going to cause problems and friction with other PCs? Absolutely.
Yep.
And that's part of the wonders of role-playing and being able to interact, and maybe even making your character a developing character in the campaign.
Yes. So, make your characters more dynamic and lean into your flaws because it makes it more interesting for gameplay at the table.
There are some risks with doing this, though, and we're going to give you some tips and tricks on how to avoid making this problematic. Because sometimes it can go so problematic that it's disrupting gameplay.
Yeah. So, first of all, it's important to understand that failure is part of the game.
Oh, yeah.
So, there's dice for a reason. We roll dice. Sometimes they're low. Role play that out. Failing is good. Mm-hmm. Failing leads to good storytelling. In fact, there's a whole bunch of stickers and shirts and everything that says low rolls make for good stories.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. When you fail, role play that failure. Don't just immediately have someone else at the table be like, I roll. Oh, I succeed. Okay, we're good.
Right. Like maybe the high strength player rolls a net 1 to open the lid of a cookie jar. And role play that out going and then
maybe the low strength character rolls a nat 20 or something. They're like, here, let me try. They open it immediately and
you're like, oh.
Then they're just gonna be like, I loosened it for you.
Yeah. And that's some fun interactions that you can have just with low rolls and high rolls.
Yeah, and that's just with low stake stuff. Anything. Like a cookie jar. So yeah, first of all, failure is part of the game. That being said, even leaning into your failing and leaning into your flaws, we don't want to overdo it.
Yeah.
So it's really important to walk that line of I want to lean into my flaws, but I don't want it to destroy the fabric of the story or start to make the game not fun for other players at the table.
Yeah.
So some examples of this are stealing from other player characters.
I've seen that being role-played poorly before, where a person keeps stealing from other party members, and they keep rolling, and they keep going, oh no, where's my money? And it can lead to some problematic situations.
Or whenever there's loot, they'll be like, I'll try to sleight of hand some of the loot out of the pile before anyone else sees it. Mm-hmm. Things like that. where it'll get to a point where it's not fun for people anymore.
Yeah, once or twice, understandable. If there's a cursed object and you're trying to hide the fact that you have a cursed object from your friend, stuff like that, it's completely understandable.
Yeah.
And if you're concerned that you might be walking that line a little too dangerously, you can talk with your DM and the other players and say, listen, is it okay that I stole that cursed object from you? Like, bearing that curse from you kind of thing. This is what my player was intending to do. Is it okay? And just communicating that way.
And sometimes it's funny too. So like, we had a rogue in a party where I was a player, and she stole some money from me, and then she gave it back to me, but I didn't notice her steal it from me, and so I acted in character as though she was just giving me money. And I was like, "That's so generous of you," and I like made a note to pay her back later, and like it was a whole thing, and it was really fun.
Yeah.
Now, as long as it doesn't happen all the time, it's good.
Oh yeah.
That being said, some other examples of things that kind of start to cross the line. If you're like, I murder this good NPC that was important to the plot because it's what my character would do.
Oof.
I'm an evil aligned character. I'm gonna like pull them aside. I'm gonna murder them.
Murder is okay. Murder is okay. Murder is okay. Murder is okay sometimes in D&D when you're playing an evil character. For example, maybe a guard tried to arrest you and you immediately murdered them.
Yeah, like that's what your character would do.
Yeah, that's an understandable argument. But if you meet this super sweet old lady that's the mother of a different player character, and you're like, my character is scared of cookies, so I immediately killed that NPC. You're
or this king sent you on a quest and you don't like being told what to do, so you secretly murder him.
Yeah, that's kind of...
Like, you got to walk the line and not do it in a way that rips your campaign apart.
Yes.
And DMs, if your players are like getting to the point where it's kind of ripping apart the campaign, talk to them.
Oh yeah.
Now, don't be like, your character's awful and you can't play it that way. You need to make a new character. You need to do this. No, like talk to them and be like, hey, this is getting a little bit out of hand and it's starting to get to a point where it's kind of not fun for the other players, or it's starting to really rip apart the storyline of this campaign.
You might also be able to add on and say stuff like, maybe if you approached it less murdery and more trying to convince the players to interact with it.
Yeah.
I don't trust this king. Maybe we should kill him in the middle of the night. And the other PCs could be like, dude, no.
You know, so like it's okay to, like as we said, we're encouraging you to lean into your character flaws, make the wrong decisions, make bad decisions,
Cause problems,
but do it in a way that's still fun for everyone at the table.
Yes.
So one last example is actually for a campaign that Michael was DMing. My character was mind controlled by these like little alien demon dudes, and he was given the directive of don't let the party leave. Mm-hmm. And so I was there, I'm in character, and I'm thinking, what would Darius do? And I'm looking around. First I tried to like restrain one of my friends, or like grapple them and restrain them. Like, no, this is our home now. And then like they shook that off, and I still wasn't shaking off the mind control. Like, oh, you know what? And so we had a rope that we had climbed down into this chasm with, out the only exit as it was all collapsing. And so I climbed halfway up the rope, drew my sword, and cut the rope, dropping down and leaving us with no exit. And all the other party members were like, "What did you just do?" And I'm just like. And they're like, how are we getting out of here? I'm like, I don't know how we're getting out of here. It's what he would have done.
And me as the DM, I did not anticipate this happening, but I was a great way of being like, well, I guess we're stuck here. Let's figure out how to get out now.
And we did. We got out. We problem solved, and we were able to get out of that situation. And it was so memorable because I made that choice. I'm like, yeah, this is obviously not what me as a player wants to do, but boy, is it going to make for good storytelling.
I've seen a similar example where one of the PCs was being mind controlled and was told to fight another PC, and realized that the biggest advantage that the PC had was the magic carpet. And so the mind-controlled PC said, I come over and I rip the magic carpet apart. And everyone's like, no. The magic carpet that's been with us since session 3.
That one's rough.
Yeah.
When you're destroying a magic item. Yikes.
So this can cause problems and will cause tension, but do it in a way that's fun. Do it in a way that's memorable. Do it in a way that builds character for everyone.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's all we've got for you today. Play D&D wrong.
Cause problems, but not too much.
Be an issue, but not too big of an issue. Stay legendary.
Be resistant.
Hello.
Hi.
Meh.
I want you to play D&D wrong.
I gotta ask him.
Yeah.
Let the minis hit the floor. Let the minis hit the floor.